Hi everyone, welcome back to Chapter 12. In this video, we'll discuss the cost of land and land improvements. The cost of land also should include all expenditures necessary to get the land ready for its intended use. These expenditures include the purchase price, plus closing costs such as fees for attorneys, real estate agent commissions, title and title search fees, and recording fees. If the property is subject to back taxes, liens, mortgages, or other obligations, these amounts are also included. In addition, any expenditures such as clearing, filling, draining, and even removing old buildings that are needed to prepare the land for its intended use are part of the land's cost. The cost of land is reduced by proceeds from the sale of salvaged materials from old buildings being torn down. Illustration 10-5 in your textbook is a good example of the determination of the initial cost of land. In this illustration, Byers Structural Metal Company purchased a 6-acre tract of land and an existing building for $500,000. The company plans to demolish the old building and construct a new office building on site. In addition to the purchase price, the company also paid some expenses in the purchase escrow. They paid $3,000 for title insurance, $16,000 commissions, $4,000 of delinquent property taxes, and $2,000 of property taxes attributable to the portion of the current fiscal year after the purchase date. Shortly after closing escrow, buyer paid a contractor $10,000 to tear down and remove the old building from the site, and they also paid $5,000 to have the land graded. Property taxes of $2,000 relate only to the current operating period and should be expensed separately as property tax expensed. All of the other expenses were necessary to acquire the land and should be capitalized into the cost of the land. Let's take a bonus break. We'll continue with our Chapter 10 scavenger hunt. The scavenger hunt bonus phrase for this video is a few more weeks. It's important to distinguish between the cost of land and the cost of land improvements, because land has an indefinite life and therefore is never depreciated. Land improvements, on the other hand, usually have a determinable useful life and should be depreciated. Examples of land improvements include the cost of establishing parking lots, driveways, private roads, and the cost of fences, landscaping, and sprinkler systems, to name a few. Costs of these assets are separately identified and capitalized. We will depreciate their costs over a period benefited by their use. The cost of acquiring a building usually includes realtor commissions and other legal fees in addition to the purchase price. Quite often, a building must be refurbished, remodeled, or otherwise modified to suit the needs of the new owner. These reconditioning costs are part of the building's acquisition cost. Well, that's all for this video. In our next video, we'll talk about natural resources and asset retirement obligations.